PS. What I am good with and good at is bringing great people onto this network, this show, and talking about what they are so good at. And today is no different. A dear friend who I am really excited to talk to. It's been too long since we brought him here. A guy that has taken over as the director of athletics for Youngstown City School District. A guy that is doing so many great things, along with he and his team and the administrators at the Youngstown City School District. Ladies and gentlemen, a familiar face and a friend of the program, Nick Sferra. What's up, pal?
Thank you, DJ. It's a great introduction there.
I tried. It took me like 3 takes to be nice to you for once. So, take it
True.
how you can, man. Dude, in all seriousness, so great to see you. I know you've been busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
Yeah.
Take us through kind of some of the things, for those of you who don't know, Cheney, East, and so much more that you've been trying to keep your hand in the pile and obviously keeping things progressing and moving forward. What kind of things have you been, taking on this summer, over the last spring as well? I'm sure you've had some changes. What things do we have to look forward to here in 24, 25?
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of new stuff, a lot of changes, a lot of familiar faces, some new faces. We've been blessed. I've been blessed. I've been in Youngstown now. I think this is going on my 7th or 8th year. You can't keep up once you go so many years. But this is technically my first full year in my role as the director of athletics. I was the assistant with Shep for those years, and middle school AD and all that kind of stuff. So we definitely had a busy summer. I've had a busy summer myself. We welcomed in our second baby as well. So I have not been sleeping on top of working, on top of the chaos of all of that. But we've been busy. We've kind of transitioned our athletic department. So we went back to that old school model. If we have some of the guys that were around for the Ed Mady days and the old Youngstown City days, we went back to faculty managers inside of our buildings, which is, it's good and bad. The beauty of that is we just have more hands in the pot now. And then, the bad side obviously is, fortunately and unfortunately, some changes took place as well. And we have, Tanisha Franklin is still over there at East High School. Latalia Patterson filled in over at Cheney High School. Casey's doing a great job over at Crestview. We're, obviously rooting for him, and we still stay in touch with Casey over at Crestview. And then we have PJ Fecco is still doing the East Middle School. And then Elijah McCaskill is a young phys ed teacher of ours, a graduate of Camel, coached at Camel for a couple of years. He's now in the city with us. He's running Cheney Middle School. So right out of the gate, one of the things we kind of did was restructure our department to try to get more hands in the pot, more help. All of us we all get so busy. We're all doing the concession stands and the busing and the this and the that. So this is just trying to get people in positions to where people can do their things. We added some extra stipends. We went back. We added a strength and conditioning coach at both of the high schools. We added an equipment manager at both of the high schools. Those two positions kind of speak for themselves, of course, but the equipment manager obviously takes away that stress and that time off of our head coaches, washing uniforms, bringing them to the cleaners, putting decals on helmets. So we're trying to go with that small college model a little bit more where a coach can say, hey, I want to wear black today. And we have a person in position that can make sure all black jerseys are ready to go. Easier on our end centrally as well. I say she because it's a female at Cheney. She's responsible for tracking all of our inventory on Final Forms. We've had in years past, I mean, it's no secret, everybody has it. We've had uniforms go missing. We've had stuff go missing. We've had stuff that was damaged that we didn't know was damaged until last minute. So just trying to kind of clean up a lot of the stuff we do with some different positions, but also staying friendly to the budget and helping actually bring some costs down as well. We implemented a concession manager and a ticket manager as well this year. So I won't answer all your questions in one big lump sum, but
sure.
Everybody definitely be a little bit patient with us this year because we have so many new positions in place. But we now finally have a ticket manager and a concession manager. So there's somebody that I can go to that I can go to that says, what are we doing for tickets this week? Or how many tickets do we sell? In years past, that all of that brunt fell on the ADs. It fell on us. It fell on me, Casey, Tanisha, Latalia. It fell on us. So now we just have people in positions that hopefully can get us running a lot smoother, hopefully get us running a lot cleaner. And then, the big vision of why we wanted to do it this way was so we can focus on what we need to focus on. We want to do, and I'm sure we'll touch on it as we go through. I want to focus on the safety and the security and all that kind of stuff at Rain Stadium. I want to focus on making sure we're like one of the fun facts, and it's not really a fun fact, and I know other ADs can kind of attest to it. Some can, some can't. I've been in Youngstown for 7 or 8 years now, and I got to be honest with you, I might have watched 1 or 2 sporting events. I know I see you at some events,
Yeah.
but in years past, we haven't been able to actually watch the event, which then it makes it tough on us to evaluate our coaches, because I spend a lot of my time in my office watching film and watching games back to figure out, where did we do this? Where do we do that? Where could we have been better? Because I don't really get to see it live, because live we're too busy running around, running the event, changing different things. So we're going to try to do some things, change some things up, get some bodies, get some people in positions, and do those kind of things. But like I said, I can ramble on that question all day. I'll kind of wait to hear the others, but we've been busy implementing drug testing, implementing new websites. And again, I'll kind of let you steer me in a direction so I don't ramble the whole entry. But
that's a perfect segue. The websites. I mean, you talked about the people. There's some things that you guys are doing that are not only helping your student athletes, which is great, helping the communities, but allowing these student athletes to be recognized outside of just YSN. It makes our job a little bit easier when we can look at it and say, hey, we should be taking care of these kids a little bit better, and kind of going back and forth and sharing notes, if you will, in class, making sure that your kids are promoted on YSN. Talk to me about the websites. Why was that so important? And why are you guys so proud of it, I guess?
Yeah, probably because it is a lot of hard work. Anytime you do anything, obviously, with YSN, the back end, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of time, a lot of people that do a lot of things into it. But we have a lot of really, really good kids, as everybody does. But we have a lot of really good kids that honestly, we haven't really showcased all that great in the years past, because we didn't have anywhere to showcase them. So eastgoldenbears.com, ChaneyCowboys.com. Those are our 2 websites. Everything is on there: scheduling, permits, games, practices. It's just, we're excited because it helps us communicate better. One of the other things we're trying to do here, and I don't say any of this stuff with disrespect, we need to get our parents to be involved a little bit more, and we need to allow our parents to be involved. A lot of times we're like, your kid's late to practice, and they're like, well, we didn't know what time practice was. And I'm looking back and I'm like, well, and in their defense, we never really had a practice schedule posted anywhere. We never really had anything on the website. So now we can kind of say, head to the website, head online, check your week at a glance, check your weekly calendar. So again, we're just doing a lot of the things other schools have done. It's not like we're breaking the mold and things, but it's things we haven't done here in the city that we're kind of implementing now. We just finally got our team pictures done yesterday, so we're going to get our websites to be a little bit more pretty. We want to showcase the kids. We want to put their pictures up. We want to start naming team of the week, athlete of the week. So just a lot of things that you guys see at other schools. Everybody sees other schools and colleges and small colleges. We're just trying to get in line with everybody to start doing those things for our kids here. And then, like you said, what's beautiful with the websites is everything is there. Again, I love you to death. I love everybody else that's always texting and calling, but it's like, who are you playing? What time are you playing? And I'm just like, just go to the website, because you get 15 text messages, and it's like, and again, in years past, I can't blame anybody for it because we haven't had those things now. And I don't know if you can bring it up or not, but I would recommend anybody bring it up. But now you go to the website, you drop down the calendar, everything is on there. Final scores, rosters, all that good stuff. So
say those websites one more time.
Yeah. eastgoldenbears.com, ChaneyCowboys.com.
Pretty simple.
So all the middle school stuff is on, the respective high school stuff. So everything east is eastgoldenbears.com. Everything Cheney is ChaneyCowboys.com. You'll be able to purchase tickets on there. While I get through my ramble, I'll get there. We're doing online ticketing as well this year. So
beautiful.
You'll be able to go to the online ticketing route right through our websites. You'll be able to go to our team shops, purchase some gear. Everything is right on our website. So we're just trying to kind of steer everybody towards those websites so our times are out there.
One of the biggest things that I think went under the radar this year is the dissolvement of the SVC. Cheney and East, you guys are out. You've got Mooney and Ursuline that are joining the Catholic League. So I guess the questions, and you and I have talked about this, off the record, but for those who want to know, what does that mean for East and Cheney? What does that mean when it comes to the scheduling? Being independent essentially is a tough place to be but you guys have kind of dealt with that over time anyway. There's a stigma out there about the Youngstown City School District that you're trying to change right now. And so many are trying to change for so long. Does being independent help you in that quest, or is it something that just adds another kind of obstacle for you as you move forward?
So I know it's not the answer. Kind of both. But so the SVC, we still, and like I said in some of the releases that came out, this is not JD, Carl, them guys, Mooney, Ursula. I was talking to JD yesterday. This is not bad blood. This is not like trying to break things up. This is not any of that kind of stuff. We're still, 2026 is the year. We may still be playing. We may not still be playing. To answer your question, though, I don't know. I don't want to say it's the land of the unknown because we don't make these decisions without, a plan in place. But it's going to open us up in different avenues. Cheney and East, again, this is, an open platform. I'm going to be an open book on here as well. Where we're at competitively at both schools is not the same right now. Obviously we're getting there. Last year, East beat Cheney in basketball for the first time since Cheney came back as a school. So, and that's where it's kind of tough. Some sports East is excelling, some sports Cheney is excelling, some sports they're both excelling. But it makes it tough until we're all uniform. It just makes it tough. And in defense of the Ursulines, and again, this is not, I hope nobody takes this out of context. All of our coaches are working very hard, but the past will tell you and our schedule results will tell you we just haven't been competitive in some of our baseball, softball, and volleyball sports with the likes of the Ursulines and the Moonies and the Austin Towns and the Boardmans. So it's really hard to grow and build a program when your rival games are games that you're not really competing. You know what I mean? Yep. So it makes it tough. To answer the independent side of things, I don't want to say we've been independent because that would be disrespectful to the SVC, but we've only really gotten 2 games out of the SVC in those sports.
Right.
And 2 football games is a lot, but it's not like we went from getting 8 games to 0. So we'll have to pick up some extra games. Like I said, that doesn't mean Ursula and Mooney won't be on the schedule. We're still talking about having them on the schedule. We're still communicating about it, but football won't be too bad. Volleyball, baseball, basketball, those sports are a little bit easier to schedule. I think it'll just allow us to better align ourselves, obviously competitive wise and competition wise. Because right now it's no secret. Kids want to win. Again, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat. You've known me long enough. I'm going to just tell you the truth. I'm not very good with biting my tongue. But kids want to win and kids want to go to who's winning. So, putting up an 0-10 record, and I'm not saying we've done that here, but putting up an 0-10 record every year, it's not hard to see what programs are struggling and which ones are striving. And that's not just in the city, but that's everywhere. I mean, that's in your small town teams too. If Columbiana has a really good year, it hurts Crestview. If Springfield has a really good year, it hurts South Range. If South Range, vice versa. So you want to just do what you can for your kids to get you in a place where, all 10 weeks can be competitive games.
One of the things I'm most proud of, and this wasn't on kind of the rundown of questions that we had, was you're starting to see these girls programs come along in a big way. I mean, you look at what East has done over the past few years, Tanisha being a big part of that. And now you look at Cheney. For you, that's got to be a huge part of the progress of the Youngstown City School District athletics is the girls programs coming along. And I don't want to say embarrassed is the wrong term, but kind of sheepish to have it on under the lights of OYSN or different networks that would want to publicize these kids. Now it's you guys are under the bright lights, playing with some of the best teams in the area, in the state, bringing them here to Youngstown. What went into that? And there had to be some great conversation with some of the coaches, some of the people in those rooms to say that girls sports are just as important as boys sports, especially in this day and age.
Yeah. So, and we have to give a shout out. We have to give a shout out to our cheer squads.
Absolutely.
Because they're a lot of the reason on why a lot of our girls haven't been able to be successful in our female driven sports, basketball, volleyball, because our girls want to cheer. I don't know if you guys have been out to games, if anybody's been out to our games. Our cheerleaders are fun. I mean, they are definitely, they take their sport very, very seriously. And we compete with it every day. I just was meeting with our volleyball coach earlier today, and the same frustrations are all my girls want to cheer. All my girls want to cheer because again, it's what our girls want to do and it's what they enjoy doing. But to stay on topic and to answer your question is it's huge. I mean, Dwight and Alex and everybody that we have involved in all this stuff, they're doing such a good job. What we've been able to do, which has been really good for the female side of things, is bringing back middle school sports for females was huge in my opinion, because that gave us a little bit more of a structured model with the girls. We've had a lot of success with our middle school, and that's allowed us to grow our high school programs. Of course, you can't go without shouting out Alyssa and the girls on that girls basketball team, which again, success helps bring more success, and good teams help you. It makes it easier when you have some good teams coming in. But Dwight came in running right out of the gate, built a great program. Alex is going to shock a lot of people in volleyball this year over on the east side, and so will Bree on the west side. But Alex has had 25, 35. We're going to play freshman volleyball this year over at East. I don't know, and shame on me, I don't know the history of that. Have we had a freshman volleyball team at East since YSN has been covering?
Not that I can remember. No. So it's at least been 8 years.
Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna run freshman volleyball, which obviously you guys know, growing programs. That's how you do it. We're running 7th and 8th grade. We're running both programs at the middle schools right now in volleyball and in basketball. We've been doing that the last couple of years, but it's just growth in numbers. We need to get kids to stay in the district. We need to get kids to buy in, but watching our females do it as well is just, it's helping in the school day, because everything, and everybody falls in love with football in the fall. So everybody forgets about the volleyball girls and the cheerleaders and stuff, but they're working their butts off too. They've been in the gym all summer. They've been in the gym all off season. So hopefully we want to see success for both of them. And I think we will this year. I think we're going to see a lot of different scoreboards at the end of the year this year in those off summer sports.
You mentioned strength in numbers, and the numbers this year are good. I mean, you guys are up from last year. You just never know when it comes to, any city, not Youngstown, any city in the world of open enrollment and things of that nature. You never know what you're going to get from year to year, but you are taking a lot of pride in saying that we've got more kids than we had last year, and not just more kids, but more talent than essentially you guys have ever had, had in a long time. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And I think that's an attest to some of the things we're doing. So another thing we did this year, it wasn't a secret. It was, we had articles all over. We actually just finished our drug testing. We finished yesterday. So I think as our parents continue to see us do it, and I don't want to say better, because again, all that stuff always comes off arrogant and rude or anything like that. But as we do more in those types of things, I think our families and our parents will start to understand that we are trying here. We're trying to do everything we can to get these schools in a better place, to get this building in a better place. Anything we can do to show that we're trying to straighten the arrow on some of that stuff is going to help us. When we made and I say we, of course, but I'll put the target on my back. When I made the announcement that we were going to do drug testing, I'm not kidding. There was a couple of nights where I was sitting there and I'm like, what kind of phone calls am I going to get? What kind of and what kids are going to catch me in the halls? And I got to be honest, and I want to brag for a minute about it as well. We had at East High School, we had less than 1% of our athletes test positive at East High School, and we had 0 at Cheney High School. So we tested over 300 kids, and we had less. I think the final number was like 0.034 positive tests. And again, anybody that wants to do the math on that, you can do the math. I think there was only 3 positive tests at East, and there was 0 at Cheney. So, that one is an attest to our kids who, and then it's an attest to our families and kind of what we're doing here. Again, I'm an open book. I'm sure I'm going to get some junk for some of the things I'm saying, but I was getting texts like, you ain't gonna have a season, good luck. You're not gonna have a team. And our kids came out and like I said, the numbers were 0 at Cheney, and they were right next to 0 over there at East. So we're happy with that. We're impressed with that. And, as we keep doing those things, I think our families and our parents will kind of keep seeing the things that we're trying to do to get the district back in a good place.
I think one of the biggest things, people are going to look at this and say, why is this such a big deal? Drug testing is drug testing. Kids shouldn't be doing drugs anyway. But for those numbers, less than 1% and obviously 0 at Cheney, that's a big deal, because people don't understand you're dealing with different circumstances, and these children, these student athletes, are dealing with different lives and livelihoods and circumstances than pretty much everywhere else. So when you have positives and you're moving in the right direction, they should be celebrated, right?
Yeah. And again, the idea, everybody else is like, well, we do legal now. Everything's getting legal now. You still can't do it at work. And the main backing of why we made the decision we made was, and it's no secret, we just saw it again on WKBN with fentanyl this. We don't know where our kids are getting it. And I say we as in all of us. Everybody can act like these issues are only in Youngstown. These issues are only in Warren. These issues are everywhere. So we don't know where they're getting it from. All it's going to take is one hit from a fentanyl-laced bag of weed, whatever you want to call it, and it's lights out. So the goal, it wasn't so much to like navigate and narrate like drugs are bad, don't do drugs, don't smoke weed, which obviously we send that message as well. Sure. But it was just to be aware of what surrounds you. Again, would I love to be drinking a beer with you on this right now? Of course. It's 3:25 and I'm at work. Yeah, it's legal. Yeah, I'm of age. Yeah, you're of age, but you just can't. So the message was also, you were told that you can't smoke weed. go get a drug test and pass it. And to see that our kids all listened and did that was where we get excited about it. I think anybody should get excited. And I think everybody should be proud of anybody that passes their drug test or alcohol test or anything like that.
Hard turn to the left. We want to talk about your youth programs because they are ranked nationally here in the good old US of A. Number one, how do you get ranked nationally? Obviously, other than good old fashioned rolling up your sleeves and some elbow grease. But why doesn't anybody know about this?
So we do the best we can to promote it on Facebook. It's kind of that uncharted territory for us because there are youth programs. So they're actually ran by the Youngstown, me obviously being aligned with the city school district.
Right.
We partner up with them with the district, but they're not ran by the district. So I have to give, the shout outs to the Little Bears and the Little Cowboys and their presidents and their owners who are running those organizations. We allow them to use our facilities. And we share everything the best they can. You guys can come out and catch them up at Cheney High School, at Rayen High School. We're pretty much going every Saturday and Sunday at both of the sites. They're doing awesome. I got the flyer and they were like, we're ranked top 25. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And they were like, no, like nationally, we're going down to Florida. And I was like, what? And they were like, we're ranked like in the whole entire United States of America. We actually just went down. And don't quote me, I forget where they went, but they just went down somewhere and played, I think, the number 3 ranked team in the world in the United States of America, and played them tight, lost by, I think, 1 or 2 scores. And again, it's just an attest. It gets you excited because that's what our teams can do at the lower levels when we have all of our Youngstown kids playing in Youngstown colors. And as we keep growing and we're seeing it, and I'll stick to the youth stuff, but we're seeing it last year. I think we retained 56 of our middle school athletes last year out of a total of 65 or 70. That number is usually in the 20s or 25. So that's where I think you're going to just kind of see the growth. I think it's a 4 or 5 year plan. I think, we'll see that in waves like you do everywhere else. But our little leagues are huge. They're doing great things. They're playing a national schedule, which makes it kind of tough on us because you play travel ball now.
Yep.
A lot of teams coming from out of state, out of area. The 1 year we were in that local league where we played Liberty and Boardman and Poland, and that was great because it was local. The stands were packed, but and again, it's no disrespect to any of them, but I think the Bears won every game in that first league by 40 or 50. So the caliber was just different kind of from where they were at, and to see them be able to do it on the national stage is great.
I know one of the things you wanted to talk about was security. Yeah. I mean, there's been upgrades to Rayen Stadium. Yeah. There is a stigma. There are people that still do not feel safe going to one of your games. Yeah. To those people, what would you say, and what were some of the upgrades to make them feel a little safer come this football season?
Loaded question. I would say come on out, give us a chance. And so I'll answer your first question. We're going to try a million different things to try to find a way to fix it. Because again, I don't enjoy going up there on a Friday night break. Like I said at the front end of the segment, I haven't watched a football game in 8 years. I want to be on the field watching my coaches coach and my kids play and my trainers train. And I want to see that stuff in action. We work so hard to get to that Friday night. And when I don't get to watch a snap on a Friday night, it's frustrating. So we're going to do anything we can to try to get it a better experience. We have just a couple of things we did last year. We put out notices that if you're under the age of a high school student, you need to enter with an adult into the game. That clicked on really good for the first 1 or 2 games when we were really monitoring it. And then we got a little bit soft. Our parents got a little bit comfortable, and we kind of got a little bit lackadaisical with that. This year, we're implementing the online ticket sales. So I think that's going to help us track tickets a little bit better and track kind of who's buying what and who's selling what. We're going to sell student tickets pre-sale. I know it actually just dropped like an hour ago. I don't even know if you saw it or not yet. They just passed a bill that you have to provide student ticket pricing. Did you see that yet?
I didn't know.
So some bill went into play. It doesn't go into effect until October 24th, and the last game of the season is October 25th. So you can kind of survive the fall. Again, it's, of course, the state and the OHSA, and again, I'm going to get chewed out for anything I say, but making things tough. So they just passed a law that said you still need to offer a student price and that your tickets online and your tickets at the door need to match the same price. Okay. So one of the things we're still going to move forward with is all of our tickets at the door are going to be $10. So where I think that's going to help us is, and again, we get the carloads of kids that just get dropped off on a Friday night. We love that. We want our kids to come to the games. Please don't take that like I'm saying we don't. But when you get a group of 15 unsupervised kids coming into any contest, heads are going to turn. So raising that ticket to $10, I think, is going to steer some drop-offs. I think it's obviously going to make it, we're going to be able to employ a couple more security officers as well, since we're going to be making more money. We're going to do, so I don't know, you've been up to Rain 100,000 times, right?
Right.
And again, it's going to sound like I'm being disrespectful, but please, I hope nobody takes it that way. The way Rain was built, I always compare it, and again, bad example, but I always compare it to O'Donnell's, right? No knock on O'Donnell's. Have you ever been downtown to O'Donnell's and not gotten into a fight with somebody?
Oh no.
Because you're in a tight hallway. And again, I only say that because I've been there, but you're in such a tight space in a tight hallway. So Rayan only has one way in, one way out, right?
Yeah.
You have one set of bathrooms, one set of concession stand, one ticket window, one booth. And then right when you come in, you got a big 20-foot empty concrete pad that looks like you're at a concert.
Yep.
So everybody hangs out at that concrete pad. Everybody hangs out in the one walkway. So, and I say this loose, we haven't had any real problems at Rain again since I can retain back. I think the last issue at Rain was over 25 years ago, right? So yes, we've been trying to find ways we can navigate the fights up there. I think it's a little bit more in your face because again, there's only one way in and one way out. So see you, Doc. Sorry. So, and again, I'm not saying that like we need to hide the fights better. That's not what I'm trying to say, but it's right in your face. You've been to a million games, right? There's fights going on. It's a high school event. There's kids, there's girlfriend problems, there's stuff going on. There's all this stuff going on. There's boyfriend problems. So there's fights, but at other places you have, it's broken up. So it's not so much in your face. So again, to stay on topic and answer your question, we're going to strategically place some seating areas in that open area just to break that space up. And then we've asked our officers and our security officers to stand, they need to be more visible and more alert as well. They tend to group up and wait for something to happen to go and, get it figured out. So we're going to have them play strategically. We're going to try. So, I mean, the biggest thing that I'll say on the air now is please sit in the stands and watch the game. And it's not just our kids or our parents or our families. It's very inviting to stand along that along that railing at Rain Stadium. It's very inviting. Nobody likes bleacher seating. It's not comfortable. Nobody likes sitting down the bleachers. It's a very inviting space. I find myself standing there the whole game as well. So we're going to try to do a better job of getting people in the seats so that traffic can move a little bit better up top. We're going to open up both gates. I know Cheney did that the last couple of years. It kind of helps some traffic, so you're not sticking everybody into one gate. I'm looking at getting some porta potties on, and I'm talking like you guys can see the image, but if you've been up there, I'm looking at getting porta potties on the two far ends of the stadium to, again, just break up the restroom. If you don't have to fight the crowd to get into the one spot where 5,000 people are sharing one bathroom, go hit the porta potties on the corner. Looking at getting some food trucks, into the D zones, again, just to break up that clutter at the concession stand because it's just clutter. But it's such a tough ground because you don't want the message to come out and say, we don't want our kids at our football games.
Right.
Because again, everything we just talked about at the start, we have nationally ranked youth programs. We have, in my opinion, shame on me, East Middle School has been the best football middle school in Ohio for the last 5 years. I don't think we've lost a game in the last 5 years. So,
wow.
We want those kids at these games. We want them wearing their jerseys. We want them up at the games. We want them having fun. But we have to find a way to get it to where everybody's up there sitting and actually watching the game, because what hurts is those kids on the field have worked so hard and stuff. It's taken away from them on the field because we're up here, nobody's complained about the field at Rain, right? The game's always great. The field's always great. The play on the field is great. It's always the chaos behind the scenes. So we just have to find ways to navigate. I'm not going to sit here and say picnic tables and ticket prices are going to fix that. It's just, we have to find different ways to navigate it. I think if we do a better job of getting people in their seats and we do a better job of monitoring the event, I've talked to our police. Again, I don't want to ramble on you, but I've talked to our police. We're going to be a little bit more no tolerance up there.
Proactive as opposed to reactive.
Correct.
Okay.
And no tolerance though. I mean, in years past, it was kind of like, hey, go sit down, quit messing around. Now it's going to be sit down or leave the facility.
Yeah.
And if you don't leave, we'll escort you out. So we're also going to be removing people at a faster rate than we have in the past. again, I'm not saying that like we're going to be up there just arresting and tackling everybody, but we're not going to be as nice and friendly because it's just not, it's not a good experience for the visitors that are coming in.
One of the things that I was really excited about over this past week is I saw the Mooney game week
Yeah.
7, I believe, got moved to a Thursday night.
Yeah.
For you, do you feel like that's the next generation and next wave of football games is moving to Thursdays and Saturdays because there's an officiating shortage and being able to, get these games in as opposed to having to wait and see if the officials are able to show up?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's, and I know John and them guys do the best they can to find crews and staffs. And but to answer that question, yeah, I do. I like the Thursday night game because it kind of breaks up the space. And then, like you said, now you can get to another game. I know our coaches don't always love it. Obviously, you get a short week. And some of our fans don't like it because, work's a little bit different on a Thursday than it is on a Friday night. What I personally don't like about it is you're kind of watching that clock like a hawk. Because we do have school the next morning. So, God forbid one rain delay, one lightning delay. That's the only thing that I don't like on those Thursdays is you might have to cut something short, but it hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I think you'll see a lot more Thursdays. Saturdays, I think you'll see, it's just so hard to compete with college football and YSU, and Saturdays are just tough. But I think Thursdays is becoming more and more popular for a reason.
I agree. I love them. I think they're fantastic because I can go do 2 games as opposed to just 1. But that's just me. That's selfish DJ doing what selfish DJ does. Nick, you are doing an incredible job. The entire administration out there at Youngstown City School District is absolutely knocking it out of the park. Keep doing what you're doing. Love having you on for the updates for everybody out there. They feel safer. That's the goal. They should, because you guys have put in a lot of incredibly hard work. And you've done it all for the student athletes. Thank you so much for everything you do. Thanks for stopping by, and certainly don't be a stranger. All right.
No, you got my number. Call me, text me. Good luck this season. I know you're going to be busy. So
thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
We all are, but enjoy it.
You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Sferra. There he goes. I love having him on the show because he is a straight shooter. Like, he's not going to hide it. He's not going to tuck it away. It's all out on the carpet, whether it be gold or red, for Youngstown City School District, East and Cheney, respectively. He means so much good for everywhere he goes. A proud Springfield grad, a guy that has been in the Youngstown City School District making changes at literally every single level, all the way up. Now the head honcho and the guy that oversees everything for a reason, because he's just incredible at what he does. Great leader. And a guy that really wants great things to happen in Youngstown, all around, not just in the school district, but certainly in the entire city. Nick Sferra. What am I? I'm going to brag. He's one of my friends, and